Hello friends, Christian here with BrickLifeCrisis. This channel is recommended for adult fans of LEGO and teen fans of LEGO. If you are younger than the age of 13, you're welcome to watch, but first, get your parents' permission. Hello friends, Christian here with BrickLifeCrisis again, and today we're taking a look at Mega Construx Masters of the Universe Pro Builders. This set is recommended for ages 8 and up, consists of 557 pieces. This is Panthor at Point Dread. We include 3 micro action figures, a vehicle, a piece of Castle Grayskull, and Panthor. Pretty cool. So taking a look at the back of the box, you get a better idea of what's inside. Interestingly, this is all computer rendered stuff, so there are no photographs on the back here. But as you can see, we have Panthor and a weapons rack. There is Point Dread and the ship, that's the name I forget. But then we have a couple of different extra figures here, including Skeletor. Pretty nifty. Let's go ahead and open it up, build it up, and see what we think. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that Point Dread, if you have the Castle Grayskull set, can attach to one of the towers on Castle Grayskull, and so you can expand your castle with this set. Pretty nifty. So as you can see, there were a number of extra parts in this set, but that's not all. There were enough extra parts to make this little piece of terrain. And that's not all. I also made this little secondary vehicle, all out of spare parts that were included with this set. I've never seen a set come with this many spare parts, particularly in this size. And yes, they are spares. I don't know if it was a mistake that there were so many extras packed or if this is normal. If you have this set and have the same experience, let me know. But we had 2 each of these red wing pieces, 2 each of the green wing pieces, 2 each of the orange, plus the 2 yellow hull pieces, lots of little 1x1s and things, and then 2 of those same wing pieces in this sand green, lots and lots of stuff, so very interesting. The set also included one of the mega brick separators, which is a pretty big departure from the kind that LEGO does. Very interesting. And they have an axle piece there, and then a pin piece there, a bar piece. So kind of cool. That works out. The set also included the pieces necessary to attach it to the Castle Grayskull build. And then this is the actual set, where we have 3 different figures, along with Panthor. You have a weapons rack, and then Point Dread and the vehicle. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at each of these components, one by one. Alright, and this is Battle Armor Skeletor. He includes his battle axe in purple. He's got a really nice head sculpt and deco package there. The battle armor is reminiscent of the figure of the same name from Mattel back in the day, although that one, you could hit it and it would roll over and you would actually see some damage occur on the vest. That doesn't happen here, it's just a print, but it's kind of nice to get a different variant of Skeletor. So, yeah, pretty cool. He does not include his half of the power sword, he just has the battle axe. So, there's that. And next up we have Zodak, and he includes his laser gun, and that's a pretty good representation of the gun that we got back in the 80s. Same with the vest. The figure overall is pretty good. The helmet sculpt is nice. That's not a removable helmet, that's just his head sculpt. The vest is removable, and underneath is just a muscly chest, but they've done a pretty good job with this figure. And finally we have the Sorceress. She has a nice cape piece that is attached at her wrists and at the neck, and I suppose you could, there's a little hole there, you could pry it under her skirt if you wanted to, but it's not really necessary in my opinion. She has this staff with the winged falcon or eagle or whatever that is up there. She has a a decent face sculpt, and her headdress is pretty good. And yeah, she also includes her falcon perched, which is very nice. And that rounds out our figure collection. The set also included this rack of weapons. We have a duplicate of Zodak's weapon, only this time in blue. There is a shield, a battle axe, a mace, a pike axe, a spear, a sword, and a laser rifle. And here we have Panthor. This is very similar to the battle cat that we got in the previous set, although this time in purple with a dark green saddle and headpiece. Those are removable, incidentally, so if you wanted to have the cat without his armaments, you could do that. The head is articulated at the neck and the shoulders, so you can raise and lower the head a bit and turn it from side to side. Unfortunately, the jaw is not articulated. The legs are articulated at the shoulder and the front paw. The back legs, paws are not articulated, but they are at the hip. And then the tail is also articulated at the tailbone. So there's that. He comes with a quote-unquote figure stand, that little piece of terrain there. There is the saddle, and these little spikes are removable. And then here's the headdress, helmet, whatever you want to call it, for Panthor. And now we come to the meat of this set. We have Point Dread and the Talon Fighter. The Talon Fighter perches on this simulated wood perch. You just pop it off, and it's done up fairly nicely. It looks very similar to the toy from 1984, 1985, whatever it was. There are some thrusters on the back. The wings are built up and given some feather-like detail. The cockpit is different than I expected because there's no faux glass insert. This is not a printed thing. You can put your finger through it. So they're just holes there, but it works out okay. There's some kind of a radar dish or something up there and some rocket launchers on either side of the cockpit. And there is room for at least one figure inside, if not a couple, and they have some simulated joysticks down here. So I'm guessing maybe one is a gunner seat and the other is the pilot seat. There are some prints for the controls on either side. Those are pretty good. We have some spring-loaded shooters here that aren't really spring-loaded, but that's the mega equivalent. If you push on this little tab here, the bolt will shoot across the room. Those bolts, incidentally, look like that. The landing gear look like talons, so they will just perch up there on top of Point Dread. So that is about it for the Talon Fighter. Let's take a look at the actual Point Dread building. From the outside, it is just kind of a green glob of, rocky stone type structure. The build was a little bit repetitive, but not terrible. But inside, we have this kind of computer console, which is very, very cool. That kind of space scene that you see there is a print of what looks like a tube monitor. This is also a printed piece, as is the console down there. There's a little bit of detail down in here. It's a little bit tough to make out because it's in black, but there's some texture and such. And then over here, there's a little Masters of the Universe 2x2 tile that is printed. And then back here, there are some clips that you could attach weapons or whatever to. And then there is a little bit more of an interior there, but it's tough to get at because this thing is smack in the middle of the room. So if I pull that off, you can see there is a bit more of an interior, and you could use this almost like a pillbox and have a figure with some kind of projectile weapon, either a gun or a bow or something sticking out of here. Now keep in mind this is up high on top of one of the towers of Castle Grayskull, theoretically. But yeah, it's just difficult to get anything in there when the computer console is where it's supposed to be because it blocks. Incidentally, on the bottom here, we have These are just basic plates, and they are anti-studs, of course. I pointed out at the beginning of the video that there were some stacks of the sand green blocks that you could put underneath here so that it can be put in place on top of Castle Grayskull. So that is the Point Dread and Talon. This set retails in the United States for about $50 here in the US. I was able to pick it up at a reduced price at Walmart for $38, and I think it's a pretty good set. I like the figures and Panthor. The weapons rack is kind of cool, and the ship was actually surprisingly good, better than I expected it to be. The build of the bunker of Point Dread itself is nothing terribly spectacular, but it's a nice addition to the Castle Grayskull set if you have that. Anyway, if you are a fan of Masters of the Universe and Mega Construx, this is a worthwhile set, particularly if you can get it on sale. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this one. This has been Christian with BrickLifeCrisis. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave us a like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, take care. Bye for now.